Everyone to please rise for the opening prayer.
اللهم يا رب العرش العظيم يا من هو الرحمن الرحيم اللهم احفظنا بحفظك الذي لا يرام وإليك نفوض أمرنا وإيماننا أهلنا وأموالنا وأعراضنا وجميع ما أنعمتنا به علينا اللهم إنا نعوذ برضاك وبرحمتك من كل سوء وشرور ونعوذ بك من كل ما استعاذ منه عبادك المخلصين واحفظنا من فتنة الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة اللهم إنك أنت مطلع علينا وحدك ولا قادر علينا إلا أنت اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تخول به بيننا وبين الفتن والمعاصي واملأ قلوبنا بحبك حبا شديدا واكتب لنا حبا منفعا لعبادك الذين يحبونك اللهم ردنا إليك ردا جميلا ولا تردنا خائبين ولا من رحمتك محرومين يا أرحم الراحمين وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
Yung acan maknungan anang isat hipiyag ya umat hinan an namin an matiko teyan potan ya ujan ya bulan an makatulong hitun nung pulayan tu ya at kufcis tumpung bibiyag tu an umat teya nan emi kami pabakpaktuan hinaan na amap hod mo ya teya an na manayo ami muncat carit cik ami maphod hi emi puno panpanayawan hipa mi pabaktuan hinan akan tulungan ija mi iapu maknongan yanan teya apu maknongan an hay jawaton mi yanaan maphod si tunong buglayan mi ta ijat muy waga tawaan pumhod ami pamilya mi yumat himitanom tawaan bumungaan maphod at kuhci italakin mi an cumakorja tawaan wajaya anon mi ya at kuhci aton mi hituan na nung buglayan mi an mun popohojan ami at kuhci am nun titinulong ami tahituwe an na ugali an maphod an impabortan jilalakay ya aci mamait yanan teya maknongan an kapuhinan emi pun oohan icumawatan tawaman nan emi nung kulangan maknongan yawaan na wajaan emi pangitangajan tapunghod hituwen nung bublayan mi at kuhci teya amun oohami tawaan na punghod ami pamilyami ya nan emi itanom apu maknongan hiyanan kapuhinan cumawatan mi hinaan na nun bublayan mi iya punghod maknongan hagiyo.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. O aming Diyos, kami ay nagpapakumbabang lumalapit sa iyo at nagkakatipon na nagpupuri sa iyong pangalan. Piniling naming ikay aming makasama sa mga oras na ito. Bigyan mo kami ng kaalaman at gabayan mo kami upang maunawaan ng aming puso't isip ang iyong kalooban at maging ganap ito sa aming mga buhay. Loobin mo, O Diyos, na kami ay magkakaisa sa iyong pag-ibig, maging tapat sa katotohanan, at ito ay maghari sa aming lahat upang magbunga ng mga bagay na kalugod-lugod sa iyong paningin at kalooban. Hinihiling namin ito sa kapurihan mo, aming Diyos, na maghari sa amin at sa ngalan ng Panginoong Jesucristo na iyong anak, sa pagkakaisa ng Espiritu Santo, at pamamagitan ng mahal na Birhen Maria. Amen. Sa ngalan ng Ama at ng Anak at ng Espiritu Santo. Amen.
Iisang bayan, iisang hangarin, nagkakaisa sa pananampalataya, bayang maluwalhati, bawat hakbang sabay-sabay, bawat pangarap abutin, kapit kamay hanggang wakas, walang susuko sinuman. Iisang bayan, iisang hangarin, nagkakaisa sa pananampalataya, bayang maluwalhati.
You may now take your seats. Once again, good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the BARMM Investment and Trade Advocacy Forum, focusing on the presentation of investments and partnerships. We thank you for joining us once again as we continue meaningful conversations toward inclusive and sustainable development in BARMM. To officially welcome us to day 2 and to provide an update on the status of the Memorandum of Understanding from October 2024, we are pleased to call on Mr. Jerry Constantino, Project Manager of the 𝐈𝐵𝐴P CRESCENT project. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Sound.
Good morning, everyone. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to day 2 of the BARMM Investment and Trade Advocacy Forum. I would like to recognize the presence of Ms. Mirto Cristofidou of the EU delegation, also our BAEP TA head, 𝐁𝐀𝐑𝐌𝐿, who's been here also, second day, is attending, and now this time with Chris Oates. Chris Oates, welcome. We are also happy to have still with NSC Director General Romeo Racadio, he's here, and of course, MAFAR Chief Datu Hamsur Said. Sir. Okay, so since 2023, we have been working on a number of key partnerships with a goal to create responsible, sustainable, and competitive enterprises in the BARMM agri-business sector. Specifically, the partnerships aim to facilitate investments into BARMM to give better access to markets and finance, to build the capacity of cooperatives and MSMEs to produce higher quality products, to engage bigger markets, and to be ready for business partnerships. All this is aimed to also increase the export potential of BARMM MSMEs. In 2024, we focused on building partnerships that led to the creation of a network of development, financial, and technical partners. In October 2024, ECCP signed MOUs with the Department of Agriculture's PRDP to establish coordinated joint activities in support of cooperatives development. We also signed an MOU with the Department of Trade and Industry, the RAPID program, to work on joint activities that are endorsed by MTIT and, of course, MAFAR. We also signed an MOU with ARTA to support ease of doing business in BARMM, and also with MINDA to enhance coordination on projects that support BARMM infrastructure development. We also facilitated the signing of MOUs or promoted partnership arrangements between and among investors, like the one between Kenram and Basilan Cooperatives to expand Kenram's oil palm plantation in Basilan, also between Bukidnon Giant Bamboo Corporation and SPDA, and also with DBP for the expansion of BGBC's bamboo plantation in Lanao del Sur. We also facilitated MOUs between co-investors, the consortium of Marine Algae, Promate, and WCTI, so that they can coordinate their investment plans in Tawi-Tawi. Also between Nokia and Green Fiber on the coordination of the Basulta Digital Backbone Project for the island provinces. And also assisting Cotabato Light and Power Company and Aboitiz Power to support Maguindanao's need for an improved power supply. While no MOUs were signed for other institutions, we nonetheless work closely with the Development Bank of the Philippines, Alamana Islamic Investment Bank, the National Security Council, the DOST UPLB Saray, the University of the Philippines, among others. Today, we will have an opportunity to hear about the new partnerships that the EU BAEP CRESCENT project is facilitating. My colleague, Tony Peralta, will be leading the discussions on partnerships leading to potential investments in the agri-fisheries and infrastructure sectors. On the other hand, my colleague, Jake Almansor, will be handling the presentations of partnerships that we have facilitated with MSMEs and cooperatives. So with that, I really look forward to having an exciting and fruitful discussion on day 2 of the Investment and Trade Advocacy Forum. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Sir Jerry. Round of applause, please. This time, we now proceed to an overview of upcoming opportunities and collaborative initiatives for the coming years. To present the investments and partnerships for 2025 to 2026, please help me welcome Mr. Antonio Peralta, BARMM Program Coordinator of EU BAEP CRESCENT. Let's give him a big hand.
Good morning. The efforts that we have put in getting these partnerships done was really premised on a common felt need of companies looking to expand, to look for new markets, to look for new production areas for them to meet the demands of their clientele. Much of the focus really has been trying to work with existing agricultural value chains that we have here. But for the most part, as these are already established, we are also looking for other newer or emerging agricultural value chains which are in need of the technical assistance that the BAEP CRESCENT project team has identified. No? So we have basically started with companies that are already here in Mindanao, because of the main reason of them being familiar with the terrain. But we've also had some new entrants coming from other places like Manila and other countries as well. So the process of investment promotion and generation is also predicated on a number of things, foremost among which is the safety factor that each of the project locations we have identified. Hence, we have partnered with the Mindanao Development Authority to undertake the Peace and Perception Study, which is done quarterly, which are circulated to the foreign community here in Mindanao. There are about 26 consulates based in Davao, with one in General Santos. Half of that come from the European Union. And on another plane, we also have 4 major chambers of commerce. And these foreign chambers of commerce are your Japanese, European, American, and Canadian chambers of commerce, which are based there. I look back a long time ago, we pursued something like this with the efforts put by USAID under the first peace agreement with the MNLF in the 90s. This was a program called the Growth with Equity in Mindanao program. I don't know if some of you remember that. We helped design that, and I look at the parallels between what we're doing and how successful we are. And I'd like to put successful because we have learned from the lessons then. We cannot assume that there are things that are already there, like our infrastructure. And we did an assessment of that, and we find this as one of the difficulties, the gaps that we see in your agricultural value chains. Availability of power, availability of good telecommunications, and also water itself. No? So that's why I'm glad that our good friends from Manila Water are here to talk about bulk water project possibilities. And also, important is the development of our port facilities in the island communities and also in Polyok Port. So all of these require really a lot of capital to be invested in. And that's why we also have the Development Bank of the Philippines, because they are recognized to be the infrastructure bank. So we have approached this project from different standpoints, and even the inclusion of the National Security Council is important because of the policies which emanate coming from Manila on how the island is perceived to be a safe place for investments. And I'm glad that General 𝐁𝐀𝐑𝐌𝐿 has spent time with us and helping us understand the nuances of each area, particularly in the Basulta area. So, today we have companies that have manifested. There are more companies that would have attended this event, except that because of the exigency of time, most of them have just returned to their offices about last week. So some of them sent regrets, but these are also very competent and good companies. We have screened them. One way of at least knowing the legitimacy of these companies, because again, I don't want to fall into the trap of having MOU signed and then eventually the companies itself are having difficulties in meeting the obligations specified under the MOU. So rest assured that the companies that we have here are really what we call the best type of companies that we can get in the market that are that have shown interest in undertaking projects here in the BARMM. So we have gone as far as being innovative about it, in including even DBPs because of their ownership of the Al Amana Islamic Bank, which we hope one day will be reverted to the BARMM. But this is a process, I understand, as we continue to have discussions with DBP. And perhaps we would like to see a modality of the kind of financing products which would include Islamic financing products to support the kind of enterprises that we have envisioned, or what these joint ventures are are all about. So with that, I'd like to ask our MC for the day to call on our partners to have come here and perhaps share their experiences and also the kind of projects that they will be undertaking. Okay, so I think this is it for the morning. I've given you a nutshell of what to expect in this morning's session.
Thank you so much, Sir Tony. Let's give him a big round of applause, please. This time we now move on to our partnership presentations, beginning with investment and infrastructure development partnerships, key drivers of regional growth and connectivity. This time, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to present insights on the exciting expansion of Kenram Palm Oil Industries Incorporated in Basilan, highlighting opportunities in investment and infrastructure development partnerships. Let us welcome our speaker for this segment, who has more than 30 years of experience in agribusiness development. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Engineer Rose Ann Nabor, Business Development and Field Operations Manager. Let's give her a round of applause, please.
Picture. Yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to thank BAEP CRESCENT for giving us the chance to present a project about the ongoing Basilan project, and for being our partner actually since the conception of the project in 2024. In bringing us to the beauty of Basilan and helping us as we develop the project. Yun nga, it is still a long way to go. It's still a long way to go since the project will be at least 25 years. It's a 25-year lease agreement. Anyway, to start off, let me introduce who Kenram is. Next slide, please. So Kenram Palm Oil Industries Incorporated is based in Makati. We are a crude palm oil milling operation. We buy and process fresh fruit bunches of the oil palm into crude palm oil and palm kernel oil. We also have byproducts, palm kernel cake and the palm kernel shell. So we are halal certified. We are also covered with the ISO 9001:2015 quality management systems. Next slide, please. Basically, I think, sir, our president and CEO gave a brief profile of Kenram. We have been in the business, oil palm business, since 1967. But Kenram Philippines Incorporated started way back 1951. So right now, we have a legacy of agricultural excellence since 1951, and we are continuously expanding our operations and mill capacity, becoming a significant player in the Philippines. Actually, right now, we are the biggest in the country. We can process up to 60 metric tons of fresh fruit bunches per hour. So we just started early this month, so that's 60 metric tons of FFB per hour. Next slide, please. So basically, just a quick vision, mission. We proceed to the next slide. So what are we doing right now? Next slide, please. Okay, so our impact in Sultan Kudarat and Central Mindanao is basically we have a proven track record of prosperity and building stronger communities. We do a lot of extensive grower network. Actually, from all the oil palm manufacturing companies in the country, it's only Kenram Palm Oil Industries Incorporated. We provide our own agronomic services or technical assistance to the growers. So it's not basically, hindi lang siya just buying the FFBs, but we also provide support to the farmers. So we have our team of agronomists going around with their areas of responsibilities all over Isula, Central Mindanao, including Bukidnon. So we provide technical assistance in taking care of their plantations. We also provide fertilizer and seedling assistance to those who are interested or are open to expanding their current operations. So next slide, please. Let's focus on Basilan. Okay, forging a sustainable future in Basilan. Give me a minute. Okay. So right now, Kendam Palm Oil Industries, like I said, is a pioneer in the Philippine palm oil since 1967. The venture in Basilan is actually we're targeting initially to support a 30 metric ton capacity mill. We are looking at an initial area of 6,000 hectares. This will support a 30 metric ton capacity mill. So we're still looking at establishing a crude palm oil operation in Basilan. Right now, the target is at least 12,000 hectares. We've been partnering with more or less 18 cooperatives already. Next slide, please. The overall project comes in 2 phases. So the first part would be the plantation development. Like mentioned by Sir Al yesterday, we are targeting at least 12,000 hectares to support the mill, partnering with the Basilan Agrarian Reform beneficiaries and some associations. And of course, we are also looking into outgrowership program with private landowners. And for the Basilan project, we're looking at the Topaz variety as this is a more prolific and early maturing variety that we would like to introduce in Basilan. This is a variety widely used right now in Indonesia. So with the 2 components, the first 3 years will be the plantation development, and on the 3rd year of the project, that's where we will establish the mill. Since the grow-out stage of the oil palm is from 3 to 4 years, that's where we start the harvesting. So by the time the area is ready for harvest, we anticipate that the mill is already ready for operation. Next slide, please. So for the project, we look at the Basilan project as an opportunity for growth. It is designed to be a powerful engine for economic transformation, directly addressing the need for sustainable employment. Basically, the partnership kasi is with, right now we're working with 4 ARBs, focusing on the area of Lamitan, Tumahubong and Mangal in Sumisip. But we're also talking to most of the co-ops we've covered Maluso, Isabela, even Lantawan, Tipo-Tipo, and 𝐊𝐰𝐕𝐄. So the team has been in place since October of 2024. We're doing the part of due diligence, checking into each co-op's organizational, operational, and even financial standing. This, of course, in partnership with BAEP CRESCENT, with CISEA, and we have MAFAR with a strong partnership with us, supporting us all the way as we develop the project. Right now, we are on the last stages. We are looking into signing of the MOA within the first quarter of this year, inshallah. So konting-konti na lang that we will start the implementation of the project. Basically, the project will provide all the ARBs, the partner ARBs, with employment and business opportunities. So, yes, like mentioned, we're all over. We're covering the whole of Basilan. Like I said, for the first 3 years of the project, we're focused on Lamitan area and Sumisip. But moving forward, since the contract will cover 25 years, we are also looking at other areas, hopefully at least 12,000 hectares, just to clarify, these are for the abandoned, idle. We are not taking over any industry. It's only for the abandoned, idle areas. And for some of the ARBs, they are offering their senile rubber for conversion to oil palm. But for any existing rubber coconut plantation that's still productive, that will remain as is. And to be clear, we are also working closely with MENRE to make sure that we are not going into the areas, protective areas, or yung forest reserve ng Basilan Peak, covering Basilan Peak will remain untouched. So that's it. Like mentioned, we have at least 14 to 18 co-ops that we're partnering with. So yun lang po, just a quick rundown on the project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Rose and Nabor, for sharing with us the exciting expansion of Canram in Basilan. Once again, let's give her a big hand, please. To present her certificate of appreciation, we kindly request Engineer Rose and to kindly please be back on stage, and Mr. Jerry Constantino to present apologies. We will continue with the giving of the certificates later on after all of the speakers have spoken. Thank you. This time to present the Basulta Digital Backbone Project, strengthening digital connectivity in the region. Please help me welcome once again Engineer Lester Akla, the Chief Operating Officer of Green Fiber Corporation. Let's give him a big hand, please. Once again, Mr. Akla is a telecom and ICT infrastructure professional with hands-on experience in fiber optic network deployment and outside plant implementation in the Philippines.
So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for that nice introduction, Nana. So, good morning to our honorable officials, our respective leaders of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, our partners in the European Union and private sectors, distinguished guests and fellow participants. So, yesterday we have tackled the importance of the digital infrastructures for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, and especially in the Basulta area. So first, I would like to introduce our company, Green Fiber Corporation. Next slide, please. Yeah. So Green Fiber is a Mindanao-based technology company. So we have a core product for telecom infrastructures. So we have been working with Nokia, EU, European companies, and have connected the communities across the Philippines. So we have projects in Luzon and Mindanao especially. Next slide, please. Yeah. So GFC, Green Fiber, has been maintained collaboration with Nokia, a Finnish telecommunication company. So we have laid out in Luzon and mostly in Mindanao, Davao region, in northern Mindanao, and of course the current is in Zamboanga City. So Green Fiber is also a proud member of a ECCP and support the BAEP CRESCENT project. Next slide, please. So here is a significant project we have previously in the Bifrost system, Bifrost cable system, which lands in Davao, coming from directly from the U.S. land. So the composition of the project is we have the ASN, or the Alcatel Submarine Networks, a European company that one of the major submarine cable system provider. We also have a Power Sublink. It's a Greek company, still a European company. And of course, yours truly, Green Fiber. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. And so these are some of the photos we have landing the Bifrost submarine cable. So if you can see, parang naglalaro lang. But they are really tracking the HDD cables laying, interconnecting the submarine cable up to the terrestrial cables. So those are the devices na ginagamit nila. This also in collaboration with the PCG, Coast Guard, and of course we maintain the environmental impacts. No? So we have all the permits needed, talagang ni-require yan by the government. Yan po. Next slide please. Yan, so the vision, next slide please. The vision of the project is of course to bridge the digital divide to unlock the inclusive development in Basulta area through a government-owned infrastructure. So, and the opportunity we have is to position the BARMM as a regional digital hub in Mindanao and of course in the BIMP Priaga. So it will also serve as a catalyst of peace, prosperity, and regional integration. Next slide, please. And so, yesterday I have discussed the penetration rates of the telcos in the BARMM. So currently, the BARMM holds a 27.7% penetration rate, household penetration rate, as a survey from the National ICT Household Survey. So in the BARMM, just to look back the numbers, way back 2019, the BARMM holds only 4% penetration rate. So it's very low. So from 4, it went to 7, 12, 17, 22, and now 27.7%. So you can see that the numbers are growing, but the base is still low at 27%. And yet, if you look at Basulta, they hold a fixed broadband penetration in less than 5%. So you can really see the need for the digital infrastructure in that areas. No? So what are the significant challenges why the telecom or the digital infrastructures hindi masyadong pumapasok sa Basulta? First, of course, the isolations of the geography. Talagang multiple islands ang hirap itawid. Second is the power. No, laging nawawala yung interruption, so the investors or power outage. So security concerns, no, for so long, I think this is already addressed, no, insurgency and piracy. And because of the three first concerns, it will lead to a limited private investments. So, and of course, the high cost of deployment kasi tatawid pa tayo ng multiple islands. Next slide, please. So, I would like to present the report. This is from MINDA. Next slide, please. And so, and the key issues per province. No? So, I would like you to focus on the three islands we have. No? So, in Basilan, we have a poor infrastructure, high poverty, and peace gains at risk. In Sulu, the same, extreme poverty, no finance access. And the third, Tawi-Tawi, is the high poverty, weak connectivity, and low public service. What do they have in common? They are all isolated areas. Talagang ang hirap itawid po as far as telecom is concerned. So, next slide, please. So, the intervention as suggested by MINDA. So, more infrastructure, developments, enhance maritime links, and of course, improve sea transports. Next slide, please. So, I'd like to focus on the highlighted one. Suggestion ni MINDA. Since this is an isolated areas, it has a poor digital and transport infrastructures. So, talagang napaka-important po ng physical infrastructure and digital infrastructure na ipasok sa Basulta area. Next slide, please. So, these are the gaps na talagang, the infrastructure gaps and the barriers growth. No? So, limited broadband restricts education. Telemedicine. So, most of the countries, developed countries, they already practicing telemedicine. So what is telemedicine? It's like the online consultations. So hindi mo na kailangan pumunta on the clinic. You just need to have the platform, book for it, no? Who is select the doctors. So that is the telemedicine practiced for the most developed countries. No? Digital services, of course, again, power. And this is also I've mentioned yesterday, the cold chain. No? So since we don't have enough power to enter in Basulta, we cannot produce yet the cold storage in the area. And so what we are proposing to enter in Basulta is the submarine cable, FOC, and the power po. So FOC plus high voltage DC or high voltage AC. So the advantages of it, and of course, it enables the digital inclusions. eGov will enter Basulta. Financial technology, education, SME, digitalizations. So if we are to lay this together, it will have a reduced cost, ensures also a multi-sector resilience since we already have a digital highway and the power ready. So catalytic effect, it will boost the employment. So BPOs actually selects areas that has good power and connectivity. So in my hometown, in Jensen, actually we don't have any BPOs there. Kung meron man, maliliit lang po. But the big companies doesn't enter Jensen because of the low reliability for internet and power interruptions. So if that will be resolved, so we believe that Basulta will encourage BPOs to enter in the areas. Yes. So of course, financial technologies. In the telecom, I'd like to share with you. So we have also the hierarchy for what you call this services, no? So the first of it will always be the banks. Should outages happen in the area, the always first to restore will always be the bank. Because they don't want to stop the money circulating because of the interruption for the internet. So pag naubos mo, let's say 1 gig and may natira 100 Mbps, it will be all allocated to the banks. So walang commercial, residential, always patay po yan and directly sa bank. Yan. So next slide please. So this one also has been driven by the BAEP CRESCENT project, led by Sir Tony and Sir Jerry po. So our goal here is to design and implement a private sector-led agribusiness development and promotion strategy. So it will pull the BARMM agribusiness MSMEs. So in this era, talagang digital marketing na yung meron. I first known the beauty of Basilan through Kulas, if you have known him. He's a vlogger that promotes Basilan and like, ganito pala sa Basilan. So, the same way for the MSMEs. So, I think we have all the products here now presented. So, we can take advantage of the technology by digital marketing. So, and after the markets, of course, the sales will come in. So, padala na lang Shopee Express, Flash Express, or whatever. So, this enhanced infrastructure supports BAEP CRESCENT goals by providing reliable connectivity, essential for modern agribusiness, market access, and value chain development. Yun po. And so, next slide, please. Yeah. For agro-industry, this is very important din po, no? Real-time market data. So most of the farmers right now are accessing the stock market, no? Especially for the SGX, Singapore Exchange, para sa price ng coconuts, rubber. So, day by day, nag-change po yun. And without a reliable internet or reliable connectivity, we may have a, say, 1-day delay. Hindi na updated agad real-time yung prices natin. So that would really help the BARMM to have a real-time market data of the region. So, of course, that would met exportations. So for the fisheries, real tracking of the vessels, since we have the good connectivity, we can track mga GPS locations ng mga vessels, no? And of course, the weather forecast. So mga mangingisda po ngayon, they are tracking the weather. Uy, maganda ba yung panahon? Or else baka malugi ka pagbalik. Yan. So for MSMEs, again, this is for the e-commerce. Opportunities for broader market reach. Online trainings, no? So we have, marami na pong nag-offer ng online trainings, how to market, how to push your products, no? So this would really help good connectivities. Next slide, please. So I want you to focus on this image on the left, no? So this is the regional submarine networks we have in the ASEAN countries. And so take a look and take time to ponder po, no? So saan natin image. So as you can see, talagang kinulang ng pagsulat sa Philippines, ano. Yan. So on the lower left, we have the Malaysia and Singapore here. Talagang well-connected yung ano nila. Well-connected yung islands nila. So on the upper center, we have Japan, China, Hong Kong, and of course, lower right, we have the Indonesian country. Talagang well-connected. As you can see, every islands of them, most of the islands are interconnected. But in the Philippines, if you can see, especially in Mindanao, on the right image, talagang kulang. Talagang kulang po. So we have 3 international gateways, no? All landed in the Davao region. So if you can see, tatlo po yan. For Converge, they have the Bifrost systems, which carries 13 terabytes. Actually, it's 15, but Converge uses 13 terabytes of bandwidth. For PLDT, they have Apricot, no? And for Globe, they have the US Davao International Link via Guam. Those 3, only Converge have direct access to US Philippines. And of course, yung mga islands natin, this was, I mentioned yesterday, that if we are to pull yung link natin from Zamboanga to Basulta, we'll need to have interconnection from the PDSCN, the Philippine Domestic Submarine Cable Network. Yes. So, it's not directly going to Davao, but it will go through doon sa I think it's Batangas. Yeah. So, next slide please. So, I just want to run through. This is the table survey we have done, linking Zamboanga to Basulta. Next, just swipe it po. Next. Yan. So, this is the proposed Basilan to Zamboanga. Next, please. So, every submarine cable will have the CLS, or the cable landing station, up to the beach manhole. So, that's where the interconnection happens from the submarine to terrestrial cables. And after that, we need to have our HDD, or the horizontal directional drilling. It's a trenchless technology that will bury submarine cables. Next slide, please. Next. Yeah. So this is one of the model of the submarine of the CLS, cable landing. So the first, of course, we have the patching, we have MSB, ATS, surge protection, PACO, and office. For the second level, that's where we put our equipments, our networks, our devices, the switches, and the servers. Next slide, please. So these are the samples of the CLS of done. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next. Yeah. Also for the Basilan to Sulu, estimated distance of 100 km. So it will be laid on the subsea level. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next. Next. Please finish this. Next po. Next. Next. Yeah. So after we have the backbone, so the backbone, we considered it as our digital highway. So dyan dadaan yung bulk of the data, of the traffic coming from the area. So, of course, we need to utilize it dun sa talagang sa users. No? So we will propose to have a ring from municipality to municipality for each island. So coming from that, all the data, all the traffic na kailangan ng government, ng LGU, will be carried by our terrestrial cable and handed over to the submarine cable. Next slide, please. Yeah. So, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yan. So, next, please. So, of course, we have the timelines also, no, na sinusunod. So, first we have the proposal. We have already finished that. The stop study and the route survey. So, this is currently ongoing, and hopefully, we can have the output for that. So, we can present cable engineering, the permittings, or everything needed for the project po. Next slide, please. So this is the sample for the submarine cable. So we have two proposals here. The light optic submarine cable and of course the structured single armored submarine cable. If you can see, yung fibers po, kasing laki lang po yan ng buhok natin. So, ang liliit. But for submarine cable, the protection needed is napakarami. We have isolations, we have the tensile support, the groundings, anti-water pressure layers. So those are all needed. Kaya pag nalay siya sa subsea, hindi po talaga yan gagalaw. Whatever current. Kung gagalaw man, very minimal. Kasi napakabigat. And it is designed to be para hindi gumalaw. And siyempre may mga anchors from sa barko. Pag nahila, hindi basta-basta nasisira. No? Yan. So, and ang laman po is like 8 strands of your hairs only. Next slide, please. Yan. So this is the sample of the designs needed. Sige, next, please. Next. Yan. So this is the future expansion also, no? From the Basulta and entering Palawan. No? So, next slide. Next, please. Yeah. So, this one I would like to highlight. Yeah. So, the Basulta submarine cable is really, after it serves its purpose to have it sa LGUs, no, for the region, it will also serve as a cyber security. Because pag meron kasi tayong direct internet access through submarine cable, talagang ano po yan, tawag dito, very protective ng firewalls, ng all devices. So your data is very secured. Hindi siya basta-basta na ikakalat lang. No? And it will also serve as a e-defense. No? So Basulta is facing, and Basulta and Palawan is facing the West Philippine Sea po. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, next, please. Yeah, so ESG. No? So this one also, we are very observant of the ESG since most of the companies na is European companies. And also EU, UN is very strict on this. No? So ESG, yun, for environmental, social, and governance. Next, please. So I would like also to highlight the NGCP news on this. No? So NGCP is planning already to enter the Basulta area. So they have released the news that in 2028, they will be entering a 69 kV interconnection from Zamboanga to Basilan. So hopefully, maunahan natin sila. And anyway, whoever comes first will benefit, Basulta will benefit it. Next, please. And so this is also the requirements for progress. No? So that's where the TWG, MOTC, BTC, we need to have a technical working group for this. EU support, political endorsement, ESG, and legal scoping. Next, please. Next. So I would like to end the slides that in GFC, we really support the empowering of BARMM's agro-industry, fisheries, and MSMEs through sustainable digital infrastructures. Ilan po, and maraming salamat.
Once again, thank you so much, Engineer Lester John Akla, for sharing with us on the Basulta Digital Backbone Project of green fiber. Thank you so much. Next, for a presentation on sustainable and inclusive energy solutions, we call on now the Chief Executive Officer of Fat Hopes Energy. Mr. Ricky Young works in the operations and development of used cooking oil collection across Southeast Asia, focusing on building scalable, traceable, and compliant supply chains. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Ricky Young.
All right, thank you. Before I want to start, so I'm Ricky from Fat Hopes Energy. Before I start, I'd really like to thank Mr. Tony, Mr. Jerry, and the team, for hosting such a wonderful event and help enabling us to present on such a nice platform. So, all right, who and what is Fat Hopes Energy? So let's start. Can I have the first slide, please? So at our core, we're a waste management solution company, and we focus extensively on waste oil collection. So throughout each countries, we aggregate them in specific areas, and we purify them before we supply them to our feedstock in oil and gas companies. Next slide, please. So traditionally, used cooking oil can be converted into 𝐁𝐀𝐐𝐬𝐭, which is used cooking oil methyl ester. This is a one-to-one substitute to biodiesel. 10 metric tons of biodiesel produces 30 tons of carbon emissions. In using 𝐁𝐁𝐬𝐭, we only emit 3.6. That saves us 26 metric tons of carbon emissions, and that's equal to 56 trees. So, there are a lot of things as well. For example, where the value adds is we are working with partnerships in local governments, building managers. So what happens is we've had people tell us, the building has less issues with maintenance, with blockages in their buildings. That's less maintenance fees for everyone involved, right? And so also, because we collect so extensively, it's less reason for your 𝐁𝐁𝐿 producers to keep reusing their oil, and it's healthier for consumers as well. So next slide, please. So this is where we are located in all over Southeast Asia. We started in Malaysia. In 2022, we entered Philippines. So our first depot is located in Cainta, Manila. And then last year, we actually entered Cebu. And now we're looking to expand elsewhere. Next slide, please. So these are some of our clients that we supply our oil to. I'm sure you know BP, Neste. So they produce sustainable aviation fuel. These are where it's a lot of value adding right now because, you know, airline industry, aviation, it's not easily for them to reduce the carbon emissions. So with sustainable aviation fuel, this is one of the ways we can actually reduce emissions from that industry, which is quite extensive. You know, our suppliers that we collect from, McDonald's, Indu Foods, which is Indomie, and our very beloved Jollibee here in the Philippines. You know, and then we work with many other companies such as SM, which I will show you a quick video on in a few slides. Next slide, please. So to give you a quick rundown of how this works, we collect from our UCO producer, your McDonald's, and then we collect them into our own collection facilities. And then in each country, we have a main facility that consolidates them. And then again, we collect them all to a centralized storage in Southeast Asia before we actually ship them all the way to Europe, which is our main client market. Next slide. So this is just a better representation of what actually happens on the ground. So again, from your restaurants all the way down to bulk storage and shipping all the way to Europe. And the reason I go into this, next slide, is because of traceability. So for us, traceability is very important. This is what drives the value of your oil, right? Next slide. So we are actually ISCC certified, which is the International Sustainability and Carbon Footprint. So it's actually part of the EU Renewable Energy Directive already. So that's what really drives the value up. We need to make sure that throughout the entire process, we can track the oil back to its origins, all the way from a single McDonald's store all the way to Europe. So that's very important for us. And then in Philippines, our own depot, we have it certified last year, as of last year. So move on, please. So again, throughout every step, you can see there is a code there. So when auditors at the end of the entire process, they want to check, oh, where is this oil from? We can trace it all the way back to its origins. So that's very important and it reduces human error. So how do we do this? Next slide. We do have our own app. It really helps us track the oil, and also I'll show you a bit. It's in the SM video, but essentially there's back and forth. We confirm both ends before the oil is transferred to us, so we all understand the amount of oil, the origin. Next slide. So when we collect the oil through the app, we automatically will send a collection sheet. So it tells you how much is collected, where it is, person in charge, everything in line with the ISCC certification. Next slide, please. So I'll show you a quick video on what we've done with SM. Can you play the video, please? that video showcases how we safely transport oil from all the different producers in the mall up into their MRF. So, obviously, a business will not exist without its people. So I want to showcase our people. So the first slide, next please. This is our team here in 𝐻𝐸𝑚𝑒𝑡𝑎, Manila. So this is our core team. We have a lot of other collectors, but this is our core team. So second slide, please. This is our Cebu team. So we officially entered the market last year. When we entered, this was the local partner that we found here in the white. He was doing about 20 to 40 metric tons a month. When we partnered with him, you know, we more than easily doubled the capacity to collect from Cebu. So next slide. We also, in Manila, we are working with 𝐻𝐸𝑚𝑒𝑡𝑎. So, you know, we are trying to build the community up. We are giving jobs through the community LGU to employ people who might not easily find work elsewhere because they're a bit older or they have a limited capacity. But this is how we enable the local community to really thrive and to build them up. So the next slide is also extension of the same One 𝐻𝐸𝑚𝑒𝑡𝑎 partnership. So really, if without our people, the business is very hard to survive. So for us, we want to highlight that, you know, people is the business at our core, and really what a successful 𝐁𝐀𝐑𝐌𝐿 collection business is being able to collect used cooking oil, and then being able to efficiently manage your supply logistics and then export it out. And then lastly, working capital, because when we ship this out, your money is tied up in the oil, and you know, we as a company can assist in providing structured commercial support as well as job generation. So yeah, in other parts of the world as well, we have started in a certain zone, and then as we service like a specific chain, they've grown alongside the region, and we have also grown alongside them in the region, and that's what we hope we can achieve in BARMM. Thank you very much.
A round of applause, please. Thank you so much.
If you have any ideas or any partnership concerns, please reach out to either myself or our director right there, Mr. Gerald Tan. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih, Mr. Yong. Thank you for sharing about the sustainable and inclusive energy solutions of Fat Hope's Energy. This time to discuss the self-generating industrial park development in Tawi-Tawi, may we invite Mr. Jose Rodolfo Quinto, Project Development Officer of the Philippine National Oil Company. Engineer Quinto is a licensed mechanical engineer within the Project Management Department of the Philippine National Oil Company. He brings a wealth of experience from the energy sector, having previously honed his technical expertise at Aboitiz. Currently, he focuses on the execution of strategic energy projects that aim to enhance the country's infrastructure and energy security. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mr. Jose Rodolfo Quinto.
So, good morning everyone. Once again, I'm Jose Rodolfo S. Quinto from the Philippine National Oil Company. I'll be sharing a brief preview of PNOC and the strategic energy projects we are currently advancing. Next slide, please. So, to briefly set the context, the PNOC, or Philippine National Oil Company, is a GOCC and was established in 1973 during the global oil crisis as the Philippine government's response to energy supply vulnerability. Through Presidential Decrees 334 and 927, was mandated to explore, develop, and utilize the country's indigenous energy resources, such as oil and gas, coal, and today's renewables and emerging energy technologies. Over time, PNOC's role has evolved. Today, we serve as the government's energy investment and development arm, focused on enabling strategic projects that support energy security, industrial development, and energy transition. This institutional role is important context for how we engage with the private sector. Next slide, please. So PNOC's vision is to be a strategic niche partner, a player in the Philippine energy sector. We are not designed to compete with private companies. Our mission is to complement these private sector, particularly in areas where projects faces high early stage risks, long development timelines, or the need for strong government anchoring. This year, our work is guided by two core strategies. The first is what we call the risk to equity, wherein PNOC enters projects during the highest risk stages, addressing regulatory, technical, and institutional barriers that then opens these projects for the private sector equity participation. Once viability is established, we will invite them to participate. So the second is the development of the self-generating industrial parks. These are integrated industrial zones supported by dedicated, reliable, and cleaner energy systems designed to attract manufacturing and value-adding industries, particularly in emerging regions. Through these approaches, PNOC acts as a bridge between public policy objectives and private sector execution, creating bankable platforms and long-term partnerships. To support our mandate, PNOC maintains several key operational assets that underpin our role in the Philippine energy sector. First is the PNOC Industrial Park, a 378-hectare site located in Bataan. This facility is open to industrial locators and is strategically poised to support energy-intensive and value-adding industries. Second is PNOC's interest in the Malampaya gas field. PNOC holds bank gas, which is currently allocated to and utilized by subsidiaries of First Gen, a power company. This gas is part of existing domestic gas supply arrangements and is distinct from the LNG imports. Third is the PNOC's energy supply base, which functions as a logistic and energy hub. This facility supports energy-based commodities, fuel handling storage, and marine logistics, and plays a key role in enabling both conventional and emerging energy supply chains. Together, these assets provide PNOC with physical platforms that enable project developments, private sector participation, and long-term energy sustainability. Next slide. So PNOC's current strategic focus, as I've mentioned earlier, is centered on two complementary initiatives, which is the self-generating industrial park and the risk to equity approach. The self-generating industrial park are integrated developments where energy infrastructure is planned alongside industrial activity from the outset, in partnership with local government units and other government agencies. PNOC helps develop industrial ecozones in high potential but underserved areas. The objective is to provide reliable and competitively priced utilities, particularly electricity, to attract manufacturing and value-adding industries, support local economic development, and reduce barriers to investment. A current example of this is the self-generating industrial park being developed in Pababag Island, Tawi-Tawi, as you can see at the picture. This is where PNOC is working with BARMM, the LGUs there, Tawi-Tawi Provincial LGU, stakeholders to unlock industrial and energy development in a frontier location. Next is PNOC's the risk to equity strategy. Under this approach, PNOC enters projects at the early, high-risk stages, addressing regulatory, technical, and commercial uncertainties to make projects viable and investment-ready. Once these risks are substantially reduced, PNOC actively invites private sector to partner with us. Together, these initiatives reflect PNOC's role as a platform builder and transforming uncertainty into bankable opportunities for partnership. So to close, I'd like to share a short concept video that illustrates PNOC's vision for the self-generating industrial park in Pababag Island, Tawi-Tawi, and how we see energy infrastructure to enable industrial development in a high potential area. Let's play the video, please.
The Philippine National Oil Company welcomes you to the Self-Generating Industrial Park, or SGIP, located in Babag Island in Tawi-Tawi. The SGIP is PNOC's flagship project in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, a pioneering initiative that will transform the 34.5-hectare property in Babag Island in Tawi-Tawi into a self-reliant industrial hub powered by renewable energy and innovative solutions. This milestone project is made possible through the strong support of the local government unit. With the strong support of the Tawi-Tawi local government unit, the PNOC SGIP is set to empower the area and its communities with reliable, sustainable energy, combining a state-of-the-art solar photovoltaic system with liquefied natural gas or LNG for greater stability and resilience. In its first phase, the SGIP will harness the power of hybrid LNG and solar PV systems that will deliver 5 megawatts of reliable round-the-clock energy to power the fish port, cold storage complex, and the island community. Further expanding up to a total capacity of 8 megawatts, Phase 2 of SGIP will power the seaweed processing plant and the initial desalination facility. Finally, the total system capacity is set to expand from 10 megawatts up to 15 megawatts through alternative power source, flexibly meeting the energy needs of present and incoming locators while powering the community and the island toward a sustainable, future-ready economy. From storage and bunkering to maintenance and supply chain operations, all designed to support exploration, shipping, and future renewable energy projects in the region, PNOC is committed to delivering reliable and sustainable energy, not only for its locators, but also for the host communities it serves. If you want to be part of PNOC's SGIP project in Babag Island in Tawi-Tawi, visit our website at www.pnoc.com.ph or reach out to us through our official email. Together with PNOC, let's power a clean and sustainable future.
Okay, thank you. So this ends my presentation. PNOC looks forward to partnering with BARMM and the private sector to turn these opportunities into investable projects. Once again, thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Quinto, for discussing the self-generating industrial park development in Tawi-Tawi. Thank you. Moving forward, for insights on digital infrastructure and network solutions, please help me welcome Mr. Jan Daniel Remol, Network Solutions Architect of Converge ICT Solutions Incorporated.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Daniel Remo from Converge ICT Solutions, Inc. I guess to start with now, we'll show a short clip to summarize who we are and what we do. Next slide, please.
Future of connectivity.
We're redefining what Converge can do.
Expanding innovation. It's not just about products, it's about partnerships, innovation, and delivering beyond expectations. Let's innovate. Let's grow. Let's converge.
So Converge has been operating for the past 33 years, from our humble beginnings in Pampanga to now running our own national fiber backbone. No? This is self-owned by Converge, and we're serving nearly 3 million residential customers, together with 60,000 plus businesses. So if you can reference the map here, this is our own fiber ring within the Philippines. Dito sa south and western side ng Mindanao, you can see that it's still very sparse. But just recently, we have our own Zamboanga leg running. And past 2 years or so, we have our own Jansan leg running. Now, The next phase of our expansion would be our entry into BARMM. While hindi ko ma-disclose ang exact route that we are going to take, we're trying to target late this year with Cotabato City as a key location to provide diverse connectivity between our southern backbone in Jansan all the way to our CLS cable landing stations in CDO and Buena Vista. So why? Bakit nag-expand si Converge sa Mindanao? I think a few of the presenters hit it right on the nail, no? Mindanao has been underserved digitally for the past decades or so. But since we've been underserved, I think it's also the moment to say now we're poised for a digital leap. All we need to do now is act upon it. And Converge aims to enable that, no? Sige, next slide please. Ito yung bukod sa domestic expansion namin, Converge is also involved in international submarine cable systems. In the north, you can see that we're operating this yellow line, that's CH2X, connecting the financial and data center hubs of Hong Kong and Singapore back to our La Union CLS. So this is a route connecting data hubs kasi ito sila. If you're familiar with Singapore and Hong Kong, these are very small cities but very dense in data centers. You would find a lot of ISPs or international telcos operating within these two regions. Down south, I think Green Fiber mentioned it earlier, Bifrost lands in Davao. The Davao Cable Landing Station is owned by Converge ICT Solutions. We also own an IRU or indivisible right of use for a fiber pair going to Davao. So Bifrost in particular runs from Singapore, Indonesia, Davao, Guam, and the US. This system is designed for high capacity and diverse routing. If nakikita ninyo, most of the cable systems are running north. What we aim to do here is provide a diverse route from Philippines all the way to other locations sa world, no? So in case may problema yung northern cable systems natin, we still have a diverse route down south. This should support hyperscale and AI-driven traffic between US and Asia. One of the primary proponents of Bifrost is si Facebook or si Meta, which we're expecting na gagamitin nila for AI traffic, no? So let me show a short clip to visualize what Bifrost is. Next slide, please.
Global connectivity is evolving faster, smarter, stronger. And at the center of this transformation, Bifrost, stretching over 20,000 kilometers, Bifrost directly connects Southeast Asia from Singapore through Indonesia and the Philippines to Guam and the US West Coast. 15 terabits per second of design capacity per fiber pair. Unmatched capacity, ultra-low latency, diverse routing, engineered for performance and built for resilience. Powered by world-renowned, high-performance coherent optical engine, Bifrost delivers minimum of 600 gigabit per second on a single wavelength. Advanced spectrum sharing and power-optimized operations. Converge holds an indefeasible right of use across a full fiber pair on the main trunk in the Davao branch, where we also operate the landing station, giving us full strategic control for faster service delivery of your requirements. For carriers, hyperscalers, ISP, and enterprises, Bifrost isn't just connectivity. It's the platform for growth, cloud-first operations, and global reach. Bifrost is now live in the Philippines. We are ready to serve, delivering the future of connectivity, positioning the Philippines as the next digital hub of Southeast Asia. This is more than infrastructure. This is the new standard in subsea connectivity. Secure your capacity now.
So for those in BARMM or in the region that are not yet familiar with Converge, we've won multiple awards now. Say, for example, the upper left corner. This is Asian Telecom Awards. On the upper right corner, we've three-peated or straight 3 years. Kami yung pinakamabilis na internet sa Pilipinas according to Ookla. But just recently, DICT recognized Converge as the national broadband leader, meaning they recognize us as the fastest internet service provider for residential clients. No? So, next slide, please. One more slide. So, ito, based on public data, BARMM has 5 provinces and 1 highly urbanized city, which is currently hosting us right now with, next slide please, with strong growth in agriculture, fishing, services, and industries. But as mentioned yesterday by a panelist, one major opportunity in agriculture and fishing industries is in digital marketing and innovation. Whether it's branding for our local products, whether it's in improving yields or reaching new markets beyond what we currently service now, none of these ideas actually scale without reliable connectivity. We can't broadcast out to the world na, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, without being connected towards the internet. For reference, I studied in Dubai. They're an oil-producing nation. But one of the things na binabalik-balikan nila is that data is now the new oil. They recognize data as being the driving factor in the years to come, especially so since paubos na yung kanilang oil reserves doon. Next slide, please. Another slide. Oh, sige pa po. Sige pa, one more. So this is our end-to-end solution. Bukod sa internet connectivity, we operate data centers, we operate our own private cloud. Closer to the clients, we do IoT, we do manage services for, say for example, banks that need to manage multiple ATM sites. But for today, since we're trying to penetrate BARMM as a connectivity provider, we'll focus on fiber and satellite. Next slide, please. Sige, go ahead. One more slide. So, this is our DIA standard. Usually, ito yung ginagamit ng enterprises, BPOs, government offices, some select SMEs. DIA standard offers premium routing with low latency towards all our global pathways. So, yung mapa na nakita nyo kanina, it would be using all of those pathways. So, next slide, please. We do have another product here. We simply take off the US direct routes because we realized that most of the traffic in the Philippines are going to the key data center hubs of Singapore and Hong Kong. So the traffic simply stays in Asia in most cases. This is more economical and practical for those of us in the government or those of us na hindi naman ganun ka-strict ang internet requirements. Sige, next slide please. But beyond, beyond the dedicated internet access na premium service, we also do offer broadband services. Many of us are already familiar with this. This is our standard internet sa bahay. Applicable to siya from residential all the way to large enterprises. So with our penetration or with our entry into the BARMM area, we do wish to service not only the big businesses but also yung ultimo estudyante na lang na nagsa-study. We also wish to service those people. Sige, next slide please. Another slide. Sige, one more. Sige, so for areas where fiber really isn't available, Converge is actually an authorized managed satellite service provider through Starlink. So I'll show you a short clip of this. Go please.
Satellite technology is redefining connectivity, expanding access like never before. Starlink and Converge bring satellite connectivity to the Philippines, from businesses on land to operations at sea and now beyond the stars. Reliable connectivity empowers daily life, from the most remote islands to businesses at sea, bringing education, healthcare, and government services closer through the power of satellite connectivity. Seamless connectivity fuels retail, e-commerce, agriculture, and hospitality, keeping industries moving forward. Accessible, secure, and always on, connecting businesses, powering industries, and keeping the world in sync from land to sea and beyond. Across cities in the most remote region, satellite technology is reshaping industries and transforming lives, building a more connected world.
So I think, especially for those tech-inclined, most of us are already familiar with Starlink, so I won't elaborate on this. But one of the key use cases we identified, especially for government agencies that are yung nag-operate na remote offices, there's an instance in Visayas where they asked us for 20 Starlink kits because simple lang na hindi talaga, or their offices simply cannot be reached by fiber from any ISP, no? So they would need to rely on either a point-to-point link, which is loss. There's a high tendency of loss with point-to-point links, especially if umuulan or may bagyo. The alternative we offered them was itong si Starlink. This is a satellite-based technology, meaning as long as you point your kit upwards sa sky, you would receive connectivity, no? So next slide, please. Because this is a business-grade service, we don't do this for the residential clients. We provide priority traffic. In line with priority traffic, you can see here that we have metrics to maintain. So if nilabag namin itong metrics na ito, you can tell us, hey, Converge, why is your Starlink kit not working properly? And we're entitled to troubleshoot for you, no? Next slide, please. Ito yung inclusions ng managed service namin. You have proactive monitoring, site visits, and various reports that we can do for you. So, site visits, why is it only 4 times a year? It's because we expect Starlink not to falter, no? Once it's installed, it should be up and running throughout the whole year. But in the instance na sinabi ninyong, uy, bakit hindi namin ma-detect itong kit dito sa bukid na ito, we can go naman to troubleshoot for you. So will effectively be your remote arm in remote places. So I think that should be the last of the products. I'll introduce you to Miss 𝐁𝐀𝐑𝐌𝐿. She's sitting right there. She's handling all the enterprise clients in the region. You can contact her for details if you're if you're interested in any internet connectivity or ICT solutions. But next slide, please. As a thank you, no, for inviting us today, we'll be actually raffling 2 hotel vouchers worth 7,500. So pa-scan na lang nito. Let's give it a minute or so for the people to scan. May 2 hotel voucher ito once you answer the questions. Yeah, let's give it a minute or so. Sige, I think that should be all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Remo, for sharing your insights on digital infrastructure and network solutions brought to us by Converge ICT Solutions. This time, ladies and gentlemen, let us head to the last speaker for this morning session. To share initiatives on integrated water, sanitation, and hygiene programs, we now invite the OIC section head for integrated wash of the Manila Water Foundation. Allow me to introduce him properly. He is a wash expert and section head of the Manila Water Foundation, leading integrated rural wash programs in the Philippines. With a master's in Philippine Studies from UP Diliman, he combines expertise in public health, communication, and socio-cultural research, focusing on Filipino identity, migration, and psychology. Please help me welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jasper Dakigan.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum to our Muslim brothers. My name is Jasper Dakigan, the section head for Integrated Wash under Manila Water Foundation. Allow me to share with you an issue raised in the 2022 presidential election during the debate by the former Senator Manny Pacquiao on the next slide. According to him, when asked about the water resource management, sabi niya, pero ang point dito is, kailangan talaga magkaroon ng regulatory agency pagdating sa usapin sa tubig. Because people cannot live without water. Nagpa-imbestiga ako dyan. Tulakan ng tulakan kung sino ang in charge sa pag-manage ng tubig. Kaya kailangan natin ng Department of Water. Importante po yan para ma-manage ang tubig natin. If you would remember, some weeks before this debate, people are laughing at him because he was saying na Philippines is an archipelago. There are a lot of water and yet people don't have water. So people are laughing at him, but it actually makes sense. On the next slide, according to the study by UN Water, 2.2 billion people around the world are lacking safe drinking water, while 4.2 billion do not have access to adequate sanitation. So it's weird and ironic that our bodies are made of water and our planet is made of water, yet we're not accessing that water, right? On the next slide, here, it was recognized by the Philippine Development Plan that there really is a problem on how we are managing the water resource management in the Philippines. There are a lot of government agencies, when we talk about water, this is what Pacquiao was saying, tulakan ng tulakan. In our experience, working on a watershed, when we are asking for permission, can we do this? Can we do this activities? The DNR is telling us that no, go to the MWSS, no, go to the LGU to ask for permission. So it's really hard to impact changes if there is a problem, if the government bodies are segmented. On the next slide, you will see here that 52% in the Philippines, 52% of our population lack a safely managed source of water. Imagine, we are 110 million now, and my math is not mathing, it's 55 million doesn't have access to safely managed source of water. When we say safely managed source of water, this is the access to water readily available anytime and that it is treated. Okay, so there's chlorine in it and sort of like that. And another, 39% of our population, that's 43 million people in the Philippines, lack access to safely managed households, sanitation facilities. These are the CRs with properly constructed septic tanks, okay? So some, they have septic tanks, but it's bottomless. It's not concrete, so the septage seep into the soil and then it goes back to the body of water, so it gets contaminated. On the next slide, I think approximately 87.7% of the national population have access to safe water supply, while 12.3% or 12.4 million do not. And I won't go over all of these numbers, but it is established, or we can definitely infer that there is a problem when it comes to how we manage water. On the next slide, the sanitation in the Philippines, around 7 million Filipinos were still openly defecating or using unimproved toilets, meaning they don't have toilets, they just want to do their thing elsewhere. Okay? So what we do now, I was not able to put the slide here. If you would remember, in Metro Manila in the 1990s, I was not yet born back then, there was a water crisis, no? And that water crisis led the government to abolish NAWASA. Can you still remember NAWASA? Who among you remember NAWASA? National Water Service Association, I think, or agency, the one that's providing water to the Filipinos. So they abolished NAWASA. And on the next slide, ayan, there was a concession agreement and MWSS was born. MWSS is the Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System in the Philippines. Manila Water is the concessionaire of water service provider in the east zone of Metro Manila. So these are, as mentioned yesterday, these are the cities that we are servicing in Metro Manila. But we are also present in other provinces. So we are in Laguna, in Clark, Pampanga, in Calasiao, South Luzon, Calbayog, Cebu Water, Boracay, and Tagum. And we are still seeing even with the presence of the business, there's still a problem when we talk about the rural areas and the marginalized areas, the island communities. And that's why on the next slide says why we are born, the Manila Water Foundation. No? So Manila Water Foundation, we are the social development arm of the Manila Water Company. We go beyond where our businesses are not present. Okay, so on the next slide, you will see here numerous programs. So we have AHON, this is what I'm managing. AHON, Linang, and AHON and Linang. So AHON is the infrastructure development for the communities wherein we build the infrastructure for the community, and not just building them, but we also capacitate the communities so they can operate and maintain that water system. That's what we've been seeing in the communities that we've gone, the government will have a project on a water system. They will say, we need a static tank, an elevated tank, but it wasn't enough because there was no source of water. So what's the point of building that static tank if you don't have the water source, right? So what we do is we make sure that the water system that we will be providing to the community, they can operate that, and that the water source is sustainable. So that's Ahon. And below that is Linang, which I also manage. Linang is a technical assistance to local water districts. So yes, we do help the water districts to maximize or how to utilize their any assets that they have. So the people can experience all the water that they are targeting to deliver. The Lunas and Sibol on the corner, left and right, are our advocacies, education advocacies. Lunas is for hygiene, Sibol is for the environment. Lingap is also an infrastructure development program, but a more on a shorter term engagement. Okay, so we just build hand washing facilities for schools and institutions and public spaces. Then we leave. Unlike Ahon, we stay there for maybe a year or two, building the infrastructure and capacitating the community. And then Agapay is our disaster response program. Sigla is our volunteerism program. So we don't just harness the or to harness the technical expertise of the Manila Water Company. What we do is we borrow the engineers of the Manila Water Company of the service areas and we bring them to the community, so they'll be the one to teach the communities on how to operate and maintain the water system. Likas and Lago are environmental program wherein we empower those communities also, especially those who are in the watershed or nearby or communities near the coast. Yeah. On the next slide, just so you can see, part of our program is managing the La Mesa Eco Park. If you've been in the Philippines, in Manila or in Quezon City, La Mesa Eco Park is the last lung of the Quezon City. No? It sits beside La Mesa Dam, wherein the people of the east side of the Metro Manila is getting their water. So it's really important that we take care of the environment, because at the same time we're also taking of the water, thereby taking care of the people. On the next slide, here is the advocacy of the LME by diversity in the city. So it's really diverse in La Mesa Eco Park with 220 species of flora and fauna. And then next is Lingap, yan, and Lunas. So these are the projects that I mentioned before. I'll go over this. If we can move on to Ahon. Ayan. Sige. So some numbers that we achieved last 2024, still not updated to 2025. Next is Ahon. Sorry. Sige, move to the next slide. Oh, so sorry. Before you move on, since we are also offering advocacies and hygiene education under Lingap, we also this is probably the package of that partnership. If you would partner with that program, no, there's a water trail education and learning sessions on oral health and hand washing, sanitation and menstrual health. We also do the Panatang Wash, where we ask for the buy-in of the community or the schools to commit that they will do the learning sessions, the learnings that they come from the learning sessions. And then next is Ahon. So, okay. For Ahon, I would like to focus on this. The next slide shows the extensive activities that we do for the communities. From the technical and social assessment, what we do there is we go to the community, definitely assess what kind of infrastructure they need. Because some of the communities that we've gone into, just like what I've mentioned earlier, no, they would want this, a static tank, but it won't work. Or sometimes, they would have an idea of, sige, let's put a deep well here, but what our executive director mentioned yesterday, there is a danger of installing deep well everywhere because there's land subsidence, because we're hurting the aquifer and the recharge is not good. It will just hurt the environment even more. So what we want is to have we will develop a water system that is the most appropriate for that community. No, kahit they're an island. You may be asking me, how about those communities that doesn't really have water source? If that is an island and the only water that they can get is from the sea, so we don't have a choice but to desalinate the seawater, But as much as possible, we want it to be the last option. And then, so from project development to designing, where we also involve our technical volunteers, the project management, that's what we do, construction of the wash infrastructure, its establishment of community wash groups. So this is crucial, the establishment of the wash groups, that's what we call them. Because the wash groups, they will be the one who will operate and maintain that water system. So, believe it or not, what we always tell them, believe it or not, in a year or two, we will be gone in your community. We will leave you with this water system. And for all of us, and for all of you who will be inheriting this project or this system, you have to learn how to run it. That's why we stay with them for a long time in the community. And there's the capacity development, not just teaching them on the technical side, but also equipping them with leadership qualities and up to the monitoring and evaluation. So, just some proof of concept. Here are some of the projects that we had, success projects. On the next slide is this one is for the Dumagat tribe in the Ipo watershed. So, for those of you who are living in Metro Manila, your water comes from the Angat Dam, and from Angat Dam, it will go to the Ipo Dam. And then, Ipo Dam is surrounded by the Ipo watershed. So, it's just so ironic because there is a community there. And that community doesn't have a proper access to water. So, that's why we gave them a treatment plant wherein we trained the community on how to operate it, and then installed 19 watering points, a level 2 watering point, so they can get their water from here, and then essentially sanitation facilities. So since they are living, supposedly Ipo watershed is a class AA water dapat, so there should be no discharge, but it's just maybe hard for the government then to, how do you pluck out this tribe of Dumagat if they have been there since for the longest time, So what we just do is to control the waste that will be coming from them, so it won't go to the water body. So we built a sanitation facilities. The next will still be in Luzon, and then these are deep well constructed for Aita communities. This one is in Mabalacat, Pampanga, Sitio Borog in Bambantarlac, and in Porac, Pampanga. So these are all Aita communities. They have been experiencing, what's so nice about this project is, and them managing this is, they have been experiencing racism or discrimination among the UNATs. They call us Tagalogs the UNATs, But after this project, we were able to empower them and have some sense of recollecting their dignity because they are the ones providing the water to the UNATs. On the next slide naman, we will see here, this one is in Barangay Magsaysay in Quezon Province, in the Sierra Madre, we call it Project Sierra. This project delivers about 200,000, about 300,000 liters of water to the community. Also, they are near the watershed, they are near in protected areas, but they don't have water. So, it is new, or there are a lot of water associations in the community, and then because of lack of management capacity, it's not working. So they won't have their water system won't work anymore. So because of this project, they were able to have the water system and 30 watering points in the community. And lastly, that I want to share is the project BOHE in Tipo-Tipo in Basilan. So this is a multi-sectoral project, a multi-partnership project with Metro Bank Foundation, with the province of Basilan, and also with the municipal LGU of Tipo-Tipo. This was particularly a very hard project for us, especially for us working from Manila. No, we are working in post-conflict areas. I'd like to call it post-conflict areas because there's peace anymore. It's so hard for us to get the clearance on managing or doing this project because when people in Luzon says it's Mindanao, automatically sometimes it's there's conflict there. Magulo dyan. Sure ka ba pupunta ka sa Basilan? Ganyan. Those are the comments that I get from my friends pag pupunta ng Basilan. But what's so invigorating and different with this project is the people are so warm. And we did not expect that we will develop friendship during the field work. It's just so hard because this is a 1 kilometer network development beside the cliff, and definitely infrastructure development in conflict areas or post conflict areas, GIDA, island communities is really different. It's really different and tough, but because of the community, the partnership with the MLGU, the community are our volunteers in doing this water system. So in a span of 5 months, we were able to lay out that 1 kilometer. You might think that it's just 1 kilometer, but that took you 5 months because umabot po ng Ramadan, and at the same time, it was also hard for us to level off with the community because the community are not essentially equipped to construct this water system. No? It's very difficult. On the next slide, you would see these are the pictures. We built that FRP tank, their filtration system. It's really hard for them to do this. They are not plumbers, but so I had to do the paglalagare, sewing of these pipes, and told them, teach them on how to operate it. So it was a difficult project, but at the same time, when we inaugurated it, people were so thankful because, and even Mayor was saying na we are, Barangay Bohelibong is a coastal community, and the fish that they get from the sea doesn't make it to Lamitan because there's no ice. And sabi niya, now that there's a water system, maybe we can install or develop now a small ice processing plant. So the people in Bohelibong can have their fish brought to Lamitan and keep its freshness. No? So if we would look at this, it's water. Water is life, definitely. Water enables the community to catapult their livelihood just because they now have access to safer and potable water. During the times of staying there, I was able to drink their water that is almost looks like iced tea because I don't have a choice. I will be bringing some water pero mauubos siya because we have to hike. And then by lunch, we have to eat, and I cannot tell them that ayoko po ng tubig nyo, no? So I have to do the pakikipagkapwa and drink with them that water. And hindi naman po sumakit yung tiyan ko. But thankfully enough, the people were very thankful because also thankful because now they would have that clean water. Next slide. So that is what we are committed to, Manila Water Foundation. We remain steadfast to our commitment to provide water access, sanitation, and hygiene education for all communities, ensuring that no one is left behind. So, to our possible partners here, please support the Environment and Wash programs of Manila Water Foundation. And together, let us create positive change. So please, next slide, join the wave. Partner with us through these programs for positive change. So if you want to connect with us, here are the contact numbers that you have to contact our Program Operations Section Head and Partnerships Officer. So thank you everyone and have a nice day.
Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Jasper Dakigan, for sharing the great initiatives of the Manila Water Foundation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we now transition to a dynamic conversation. Also, we would like to invite all of our participants once again to kindly visit our booths. Again, this is our last and second day, so kindly please visit our booths later on, especially during break time. Our comfort room is also located again on the left side of the hall near the UNDP booth. We would also like to take this time for a bio break. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a 3-minute bio break. Thank you. This time, ladies and gentlemen, we now transition to a dynamic conversation on investment and infrastructure development partnership, a sector that continues to shape the growth and future of Mindanao and the wider generations. Joining us for this panel discussion, we will explore a variety of groundbreaking initiatives. We would like to request again all of the speakers earlier to please go up on stage. Again, a variety of groundbreaking initiatives including the Basilan expansion of Kenram Palm Oil Industries Incorporated, the innovative Basuna Digital Backbone Project of green fiber, the promising Fat Hopes Energy Venture, the self-generating industrial park development in Tawi-Tawi led by the Philippine National Oil Company, the connectivity solutions from Converge ICT, and the community-driven initiatives of the Manila Water Foundation. Through this discussion, our panelists will share insights on investment opportunities, infrastructure development strategies, and collaborative pathways that can transform local economies. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished panelists as we dive into these exciting developments and explore. This discussion will also allow the participants to ask questions. Again, we have prepared a microphone should you have questions to our panelists. The floor will be open for audience interaction. This panel discussion will be moderated by Mr. Antonio Peralta.
Good morning. I hope everybody still has that focus on our own open forum this morning. This will be in an open forum format, and we would like to invite our audience to ask our partners here if they have any questions relating to their plans in the BARMM. So may we have the audience, maybe there are microphones that are positioned there, or we can ask the Secretariat to make sure that there are adequate microphones for the audience to ask. Oh, thank you. So we're ready to ask, to hear the questions that you have. So may we hear from you? Okay, I will start off, if that's the case, to allow you to gather your thoughts. Baka meron kayong gustong itanong, you can get on the microphone, no? And ask. So the first question that I really have here is for our good friend from PNOC. And this is has to more or less for Mr. Quinto to talk more about yun kasi nakikita ko doon sa industrial park na gagawin mo. That's going to be the trigger point to bring in more investments. And why? Because nothing can beat location economics. It is so close to Sabah. It is so close to Kalimantan. And already there's already some interest among the business sectors of these countries to start looking around. No? So maganda po yan. That is a very strategic move for PNOC. And while that is a vision, I'm sure there will be partners that will be coming in, and I'm sure that the Malaysians and the Indonesians would really be participating in that. No? So would you like to talk more about the prospects of that industrial park? Because you talk about having an industrial park in Tawi-Tawi. Parang wow. That's kind of like parang long shot. And but it's not. If you look at it, it is really the front door. Tawi-Tawi is the front door to the Philippines, coming from Sabah and coming from Kalimantan.
Gladly, Sir Tony. So SGIP came about around 2024 in PNOC. The idea of it is based on the question, why are industrial ecozones mainly in Luzon or in Visayas? We have Cebu, you have Laguna, but there's nowhere to be found. Or we have Polyok in Mindanao, but it's still not big enough or not known with our market or international partners. So the idea in PNOC was to develop or coordinate with BARMM entities to induce a industrial ecozone in the BARMM area, to which we found the pilot project to be in Tawi-Tawi. Why in Tawi-Tawi? Because we sent out a letter of intents to various BARMM provinces, and the one that really coordinated with us diligently was Tawi-Tawi, under the management or the leadership of Governor Sally. He was the one talking to our previous president, and so we developed a partnership with Tawi-Tawi. Under this partnership, we were able to go to Tawi-Tawi last February 2025, and we brought over big personalities, including DMCI, the president of Land Bank, to Tawi-Tawi. Tawi-Tawi showed us the potential. Tawi-Tawi was very beautiful when we visited it. There was a lot of what do you call this, resorts that can't really find in Luzon. But one thing that stuck to me when I was in Tawi-Tawi was there were a lot of water bottles. So from there, I questioned, why are there a lot of water bottles? This brought about a research within our team we noticed that Tawi-Tawi has a small amount of reserve for water. So when we asked the technical team of Tawi-Tawi, they told us that there is a scarcity of water, mainly also because of the high prices of electricity. So that's where we developed the concept further to maybe incorporate a sustainable energy source so that you can generate water and also create more business in Tawi-Tawi, because Tawi-Tawi is really a wonderful place. Moreover, the SGIP that we're envisioning in Tawi-Tawi, this is just a pilot project. Right now, I know that our management is talking to various LGUs in the BARMM that we would also expand what we are doing in Tawi-Tawi. And I hope that we can also maybe add 2 or 3 more partnerships with other LGUs. So the concept of the SGIP is, the thing that brought about this is the high prices of electricity around BARMM, especially in remote areas. When you see the DOE statistics, you'd normally see 20 pesos above peso per kilowatt hour. So this is not sustainable in terms of industries when you want to attract investors. So our team is trying to create an energy mix that can pull the price of electricity to around 15 to 16 peso per kilowatt hour, which is already a big cut for the prices compared to the current prices of electricity. And as we develop more SGIPs, eventually I think that we can lower the price of electricity more, lower than 15 pesos. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. May we hear from the audience? Yes, Sir Cesar.
Good morning. I'm Cesar Cuyugan of BAEP CRESCENT. I have a question because these big ticket projects, one of the success factors, of course, is the support of the local community. Now, what is your plan, approach, or strategy in order to generate more community participation, especially from the local small businesses? How can they partner or participate in the projects that you are undertaking?
Okay, the first person to really address that would be Engineer Rose.
The PNOC. Actually, what we're doing right now for Basilan is engaging the communities. We're working closely with the ARBs and also on the ground getting to know what basically the different communities, the different municipalities are, what they need. Basically, although we know that, of course, investment brings in opportunities for employment and business opportunities, it also, maraming pwedeng gawin. With KENRAM coming in Basilan, we can do a lot of CSRs, corporate social responsibilities. Kaya nga pumasok, I think we've talked with Manila Water Foundation because one of the few things that they were asking for is improve water systems, infrastructure. Definitely, nito, the right people. We have the Converge and Green Fiber for internet. Kasi talagang mahirap din ang signal sa Basilan. So basically, yun na naman, on the ground, for us, for KENRAM, we're doing a lot of partnering with BAEP and SPDA and the LGU with MAFAR. Talagang we need to work closely with the community, specifically yung sa co-ops that we're partnering with, its members, not only the officers on the ground. We have to talk to the beneficiaries. And we do our due diligence. It's not only dealing with the operation, but talagang we've been, I think, I'm officially a resident of Lamitan. I've been residing in Lamitan since January of 2025. 2026 na ngayon. So, we're like locals in Lamitan. You have to understand what you're going through. I know, I think the mention, I think earlier or yesterday, about security issues. We've gone through all that. We understand why it's happening, why may mga nangyari. But it hasn't stopped Kenram. We are still determined to proceed with our investment in Basilan, even with all the security issues na na-encounter namin over the past 2 years. I think that's it for me.
Okay, any reactions from our panel here? Yes, Japoy.
Hello. Ayan. I think I'd respond because Engineer Rose has already mentioned Manila Water Foundation. But I think for us, the question was how can the community partner with us or the small businesses? In our sense, or in what we do, Engineer Rose has also mentioned the engagement of the community. What's important for Manila Water Foundation when we go to the communities is we don't impose the development that we think is better for them. We ask them, what do you think is the development that you need? And then we will get beautiful answers from them. And then sometimes there are not necessarily inappropriate, but different answers. But we have to facilitate them on to the development that they are thinking for themselves. Because again, we cannot impose that development for them. The first thing that we ask to the community when we go there is, are you okay with this project? Because if not, even though there's a lot of budget, we have to go out. Because we will not get the support from the community if we pursue with this project and then they will tell us na, we don't like that project and it will not really produce any impact or change if that's the thing, if you are disconnected with the community that you're working on. So that's really important for us to ask them, what do you think is your problem that we can help you with? So the concept, the ownership of the project is also there from the beginning to the end. So that's it po.
Okay, yes.
So I'd also like to answer from Converge. What we do is, we're from the enterprise group. For our clients, we do events like this, where we put forth how the modern enterprise network is structured. But closer to the communities, we do ICT literacy events too. So sa instances na yon, meron kaming tinatawag ko, let's say for example, we host hackathons, we host product tech demos or whatever. So doon sa mga events na yon, people can learn how, say, a basic network is structured, how we implement a firewall filter to stop attackers from entering your facilities or network, diba? So it's a very basic, it's a very simple event, but it aims to give ICT literacy to a lot of our local constituents.
Okay, yes.
Yes, sir. I would also like to add up to what Converge said. So, for this project, actually, we are aiming to provide a good connectivity. First, this has already been happening in Basulte, a low penetration rate. And second, we know some friends that has been abroad because there is no opportunity for them in the ICT, in the technology industry. So, it is time for those personnels to share their knowledge in their hometowns. So that's what we're aiming. And also the connectivity they have now, I think it's most in Starlink, but Starlink are just the stopgaps for this development. The fiber backbone would still be the sustainable solution.
Okay, thank you. Any more?
All right, I'll add to that. So how we all consume used cooking oil, right? We all use cooking oil when we cook food, right? So BARMM is a very underserved region. So right now, as far as I know, there's no a lot of collections here in the area. So if nobody is collecting it, it ends up in your waterways, you know, your soil, and that's not good for you. From yesterday's presentation, I think someone mentioned climate change, poverty. It affects a lot of the local community here. This is one of the ways, you know, when we come in, we help the local communities survive and thrive. To build it upon the local communities, we give them a bit of money to start off, but we do request that, you know, we partner with someone who understands the region so we can also help serve the region better, right? So that's definitely important for us. And again, helping the people, the environment, all of that means a lot to us, and also definitely to people in BARMM.
Okay, thank you. We do have a question from our audience. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Monali Nampuan from the province of Lanao del Sur. So I'm the Economic Development and Investment Promotions Officer of the province. Hi, ma'am. So our speakers today is a perfect lineup of all the solutions that we need in our province. I have no question. I have an invitation. I invite you to please include Lanao del Sur in your prospects. Our economic sector, headed by our governor, our main program for 2026 is called RISE. It's Lanao Investment, Lanao Industry and Infrastructure Revitalization Program. So we want to focus on revitalizing all the existing infrastructure projects because we have assessed that there are certain things that needed to be adjusted or improved, and at the same time we are open to more projects that are also can support the existing infrastructure. So basically, we are focusing now on the basics as well. So yeah, this is the best time for us to really engage in these programs and projects. So yeah, sana you can include Lanao del Sur in your prospects in the future, and we're very open to partnership with all of you. Thank you.
Yes, Ma'am Mona. Yeah, for Kenram, on the side of Kenram, yes, definitely, we're still interested in Lanao del Sur. Actually nga, I forgot to mention earlier that Kenram Palm Oil Industries Incorporated is in expansion mode since last year actually, with the existing production area of the Philippines at only 100,000 na ang requirement ng market is even if we do 400,000 hectares, it's not even enough to meet the demands of crude palm oil in the Philippines. So kahit na mag 400,000, still not enough. So we're still looking at areas. Right now, we're focused in Basilan. We're still interested in Tawi-Tawi. We've been there with UNDP. Colonel Racadio, General Racadio knows about it. We visited Lanao. There are ongoing projects right now in Bukidnon. Parts of Maguindanao, we're still even eyeing Agusan and Surigao. So you will hear more about our expansion plans, but definitely, Mamona, kasama po ang Lanao del Sur sa plans for additional plantation areas in Mindanao.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi we finished our economic mapping last year and we were able to identify na po LGUs who are ready to accept investors. And yun, may nakaprogram na rin pong assistance for them to be ready to embrace all the investors that are interested. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments from our other members of the panel?
I think I can answer. For us, for the side of PNOC, we're really appreciative for any any city that wants to be a part of the development of PNOC. I think the next step right now is maybe you could send a letter of intent or maybe invite us or letter of invitation to the management of PNOC, and we'd be glad to conduct a study along with the technical group of the LGU. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking to expand. So, reach out. I'll contact you later.
Yes.
But we are definitely always looking for opportunities anywhere, in Southeast Asia especially. And because we're so new, rather new in Philippines, as long as it doesn't end up in the waterways and it ends up in our hands, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, because we have a lake now in our province, and it's a very big watershed that we need to protect. So I think it's a perfect plan. Thank you.
Okay. There's another question. Yes, sir.
Thank you, boss. Good morning. I'm Mr. 𝐁𝐀𝐑𝐌𝐿, the president of the chairman of One Maguindanao Coconut Council Industry, composed of 2 provinces, Maguindanao del Sur and del Norte. At the same time, provincial legislator of Maguindanao del Norte. This is addressed to Mr. Yong, the FAT solution. It is regard with the, actually this is regarding the used oil. Okay? Your conversion of used cooking oil for aviation, where is the location? Here in the Philippines, or particularly outside Philippines? And if there is, if okay for you or your company, did you have a plan to put up this processing plant in BARMM, basically, particularly in Maguindanao del Norte?
All right. So that's quite a bit of a question there. As far as I'm aware, in Philippines, a lot of it is biofuel production, but not for sustainable aviation fuel. In fact, in Southeast Asia, only one country that I'm aware of has the capability to produce sustainable aviation fuel, and that's Neste, located in Singapore. Right? So right now in Philippines, what we really have is your local biofuel production, where we use ethanol to drop in your oil. So it's a lot of funding to actually build up a company, a factory that can produce sustainable aviation fuel. So one of the things we're looking at in Malaysia itself, it takes up to 300 million USD. It's a lot of funding that we have to look into to put in Philippines, right? We have to work with local governments. What's realistic? How much funding available is there for us? Because yes, realistically, we would love to put a factory here in the Philippines to support locally, but there's also a lot of production capacity elsewhere that's already unfulfilled. So if it's inefficient elsewhere, it will also be inefficient here, right? So again, there's a lot of studies to have to look into this to make sure that it's feasible, all financially and capacity and production-wise. So right now, I do not think we have the capacity, but I'm more than happy to develop this with anyone that's local to figure out how this best works for Philippines and BARMM.
So is there a chance that our group can be partner with your group? Because since our group is on the coconut industry, basically we are producing coconut oil.
Definitely. I mean, look, of course, there's always a chance for us to partner. It's how we work together. That's how we have to establish how we work together first. But for sure, we can definitely work together.
Thank you very much. One more question, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, this is addressed to Manila Water. In a developing area, like Maguindanao del Norte, magtagalog na lang ako, kaya pareho tayong Pilipino. Maguindanao del Norte is basically a new province. Newly created province from one Maguindanao divided into 2. As a chairman on Committee on Energy, Food Security, and Infrastructure, nakita namin sa different municipality, this is reality. Energy current is medyo mahina. Pagdating sa tubig, there is no safe potable water for the different LGU. How the province of Maguindanao del Norte can collaborate with Manila Water sa inyong grupo to help like ginawa nyo sa Basilan. Because ang isang maunlad na lalawigan ay dapat malinis ang tubig. Pag malinis ang tubig, maganda ang quality ng lahat ng mga produkto na pwedeng ipoprocess ng ating mga kooperatiba at mga maliliit na mga negosyante. So ito po yung pinaka-dilema. And I hope that your good company to our province, talk to Vice Governor and to the Governor with the help of BAEP to have a collaboration once and for all for the halal hub. Basic itong water. So nakita ko yung program ninyo na amaze ako because water is very important. And I hope you can help us. Yun lang po at sana makatulong kayo. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, sir, for the question. To quickly answer po yung sagot ninyo, yung tanong ninyo, siguro sa amin, willing naman po kami parating tumulong. Ang ginawa po noon sa Basilan, just to tell you the story, kung kilala po ninyo si former 𝐁𝐀𝐑𝐌𝐿 Panadero, he is now the president of the 𝐂𝐕𝐿𝐾 Family Foundation. He's in contact with the former Governor Mujib, and then they're good friends. So, since we are a member of the League of Corporate Foundations, doon inilapit yung problema ng Basilan, specifically on malnutrition. Because tama si Sir, na merong malaking problema at malaki ang nasusolusyonan ng tubig sa malnutrition pa lang and definitely sa livelihood. So, sa amin po, we are welcoming that invitation, sir. No? If you could write us a letter, our executive director, si ma'am kanina, actually kaya hindi na ako nag-react because she already have the email address of my executive director. So, sir, let's talk later. And siguro, right now, just to give everyone another context, no, we are also brewing a project with the Local Water Utilities Administration, the LUWA, because we can only do so much. It's supposedly it's the government who would be doing this for the province, no, and that's why we are also working with LUWA. So we could help the local water districts further and utilize the abundant water that we have so that no one will be sick anymore because of drinking unsafe or unpotable water. Sir.
Thank you and hope to see you. And I'll talk to my colleagues and to the Vice Governor to pass a resolution through the BAEP to help us to facilitate, to have a mutual understanding regarding the development of clean and potable and healthy water, basically for the province of Maguindanao del Norte. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions? Yes, sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is not a question, sir, but my courtesy to our board member here from the Maguindanao del Norte, Sir Michael 𝐁𝐀𝐑𝐌𝐿, sir. And salamat pala sa BAEP, ECCP sa event na ito. And then our colleagues, cooperative chairmen here, salamat at nandito tayo ngayon. So I am Gaddafi Ulilisen, the general manager of Atos Farmers Marketing Cooperative. But since our primary is agribusiness, but now engage in water system level 3 household water connection, since 2019 up to now. So, very challenging po at napakaganda po yung address ko po kay Mr. Jasper, the Manila Water Foundation. In support po doon sa environment and waste programs po ninyo. Very interesting to work together. Magkaroon po tayo ng engagement po, sir, pakipag-partner po sa inyo. Kasi po, ang aming source of water is spring development through gravity. So, nasa environmental po, we need siguro yung watershed protection, etc., whatever, para po masustain natin yung level po ng ating water system. So, yan po sir, gusto ko po makipag-collaboration sa inyo kasi very challenging po yung demand po sa amin ngayon ang magpa-connect po ng water system sir. Kasi limited lang po yung scope po ng area of operation namin because of the resources and the facilities, of course. So, yun po, very interesting po na makipag-collaborate kami or makipag-partner po kami sa Manila Water Foundation. Baka po makatulong po kayo. Isa opportunity po sir na makapatulong po sa amin.
Thank you, Sir Gaddafi. Siguro, this time, since you're inviting us, I would also like to invite my co-panelist here to partner with us. Kasi, of course, when we talk about projects, we need budget. So, so of course, Kenram we're already in talks with Kenram. So, PNOC, Fat Hopes, Converge, and from Green Fiber, maybe we can involve them also. If your companies are moving in the areas of BARMM, maybe we can also address their immediate problems such as water. So help us also. Yes, and yes, sir, we are willing to help the community. So let's talk later and connect.
Thank you very much po sir. And Sukran.
Yes, yes, sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and good morning to everyone. Before anything else, I would like to express my deepest gratitude and thanks to the Kenram, BAEP, CRESCENT, IOM, and the rest who went to Basilan to conduct field validation for the establishment of the impact projects without any fear to face the marites that Basilan is under tension for somebody. With this, I would like to ask a question addressed to Mr. Ricky Yang, CEO of Fat Hopes of Energy. So my point, how can we elaborate or engage in your company? Because some areas in our province suitable for establishment of energizing the in the areas, particularly in Albarca municipality, because sometimes power shortage is perennial in our province, like what had mentioned by the other company or investor here today. So thank you po. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'll tell first. Sir, I think in response to that, this is something else that we have been working on. No? I am not yet at liberty to disclose, but this is a substantial investment that's going to come into the island communities. Because bago lang man na-approve the roadmap, the energy roadmap as defined by MENRE was just launched last December 3. So to be consistent with that, the plan is to go through the establishment of microgrids for each of the island communities, which I think is really sustainable. And the company that has taken interest in this is one company that has been a very good model for development. They have been really been in the forefront of not only being commercially viable, they've been in business for a very long time, and they have taken interest in this. No? So talks are ongoing, and you will hear about this in the next few months, where this will all head. But going back to addressing that, there is that need that we really will have to work with your electric cooperatives that are out there. And we are also aware of the constraints that these electric cooperatives have in power distribution. Remember, they don't generate, no? So they very much rely on the national grid for that. So That I hope answers your question. Pero short term lang yan. I mean, it's not something that will be like that forever because you cannot develop any place at all, whether in Basulta or here, if you have inconsistent electricity. And that's why I'm glad that Aboitiz has really taken the lead of representing the power sector, because if there's anybody else that can really deliver the kind of expectations that the people in the business, the residential, and all sectors concerned, it's really Aboitiz, because they have time and again showed their ability to manage an operation in a city that's large as Davao City, now in Cotabato City. They've been here for quite a long while, and I think most of the people in Cotabato agree with me that the power situation here is a lot better than the other nearby provinces. So I think that's something else, and we look forward to also working strategically with the Aboitiz Group in coming into Maguindanao del Norte. More specifically, our own Polyok Port and Bangsamoro export processing zone that's out there. You cannot forget that, you know, there is the need really for a consistent and reliable energy to operate these facilities. Okay? So I hope I have answered that. Kasi yun sa ginagawa ng Fatup Energy, it's more on the recycling. It's more of part of a circular economy where they reprocess used cooking oil. Okay? Any other questions?
Can I add on to that, Tony? All right. So at our core, we do collect used cooking oil. Logistics and supply chain is a very significant and core of our business as well. So we are always thinking about, servicing areas and islands. Let's look at Luzon itself. Even the provincial areas, the very rural areas, we have issues, significant challenges serving these areas, right? So as long as we have local governments willing to work with us, we are more than willing to develop, better supply chains to also serve any regions, especially in a, very island-centric country like Philippines.
Okay. Any more questions? Do you have questions over that side? I see you raising your hands. All right. Okay, I think we're pretty much done and we're within schedule. Once again, we'd like to thank everybody else for taking their time to listen to our discussions this morning. Once again, on behalf of the BAEP CRESCENT program, I thank you and have a pleasant day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our panelists and for Mr. Peralta for moderating this session. Gratitude goes as well to our audience for the relevant questions raised. We will now present the certificates to our panelists. Mr. Jerry Constantino will be presenting the certificates to be followed by a photo opportunity. Concludes our morning session. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have our lunch break. Gentle reminder as well to all participants who have not yet registered, kindly approach the registration area. Thank you and enjoy the break.
Isang panibagong bukas ang ating hinahangad. Huwag mong sasayangin ang pagkakataong dumadapos sa iyong mga palad.
Lahat ng aking pagsisikap ay inaalay ko sa iyo. Anumang pagsubok ang aking harapin, mananatiling nakatayo.
Ikaw ang biyaya, kahit saan ka man patungo, niliwanag ang pag-asa sa bawat sulok ng mundo. Halina't tawagan ng aking kamay, lumakbay ng sabay-sabay. Tayo ang biyaya.
Pasasalamat sa pamilya at mga kaibigan. Ako'y narito dahil lamang sa'yo.